Hey Curtis, what's up E? I see you fam, I see you Victor, I have you ready in a minute. I'm about to kick this off. I just want to make sure that people in the beta group can see the video, but they need to bring that self over to the real. I gotta mute myself elsewhere. Alright, Victor, let me do this for you right here. Bam, you have been given the juice. What's up, Eva? Good to see you here, Miss Lady. Yeah, we're gonna get kicking in like 2 seconds. I'm just about ready. I want to make sure everything is working like it's supposed to. Face looks good in the hood. Check my personal. Okay, Roger. I got you, man. I got you. That's funny. I really appreciate that. That's here. I gotta put Roger up. That's funny. All right, so I see it looks like it's working. Let me close down these Facebook streams to save me some bandwidth. What's Wyatt? What's up, fam? Good to see you here. Yeah, I got that down. I'm going to go ahead and close this screen. I'm going to keep the link on hand just in case. And then I need that backslay, and it looks like we're ready. All right, let me move this out the way. You hush up. And let's do this. Wait, put the camera back. Put the camera back. You always got to remember to set your settings back and then 86 that. All right. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Doc Rock Tips. I am that dude, Doc Rock. That is me. Let me check the microphone because you know this stuff loves to mess with my audio. Okay, I got my audio legit. So today's the day, folks. Today is the absolute day. Today is that Ecamm Live Beta Day. Like, it is actually happening. It is happening now. If you didn't already do so, make sure you join the Ecamm Live community over in Facebook. Just go to Facebook, search for Ecamm Live community. And then after that, click on the beta group, join the beta group, and you will be able to download the link. That downloading stuff, we're not going to get into that. That's easy. You can figure it out. Go to the boom, hit the zip, open the zip. Perfect. But in order to make this showgram happen, what we are going to do is we're going to show you how to use it. So basically what they added was they added the ability to bring in an interview guest. They're calling it the interview mode. And now my computer is making noises it ain't supposed to make. I hate when that happens. There is a browser. Oh, hey, Loria, stop that. The Loria was dancing in the background, folks. Oh, you got to remember to close all of them tabs to which you don't need while you're doing this. Here, let me just do some more housekeeping. So anyway, basically what interview mode allows us to do is to bring in folks to your stream and have them on sort of as a guest. What's up, Alex? Good to see you here. And yeah, I like the fact that they call it interview mode instead of guest mode because primarily most people have guests for interviews. It could be a co-host, it could be whatever. So today, in order to step you through the process, I had a couple things popping. I invited my brother Victor along because Victor is the man. He's been a long time podcaster. One of the very first podcasts I ever downloaded back in the day. I want to say he was probably third or fourth in podcast realm. Back when, I'll see if you guys remember. Hey, here they go. You remember these guys came out? Actually, podcasts out before this. Everybody equated them to this because Apple did what Apple does, and they co-opted the name podcast and made everybody believe it. But actually, podcasts were out long before you could move them to an iPod. And Victor used to have a show called The Typical Mac User. It was a fantastic show because what he basically did is sort of what I'm doing on YouTube now. So my show today on YouTube is kind of a direct like rebirth of what Victor used to do. And it's just, standard Mac guy, buys all kind of stuff, does all kind of things, plays with everything, and then tells you you should or you shouldn't. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the world's greatest saxophone player, a good friend of mine, and long time Mac guy, Mr. Victor Cajal. And then,
What's up, Pam?
Okay, cool. There we go. They said, wait, Dr. Elo said that's a relic. He called you a relic. No, I know you're not talking about Victor. I know you're talking about my
right. That's about.
He's talking
That's
about my
about
iPads.
right.
That's funny. Okay, let me fix something. I think you guys let me know if Victor is hot. I can control that, but I want to show you. Oh, hey, what I should have done. Okay, I'm going to go into live demo mode. I got to rearrange my screens because I have it set up for, Doc is blind, and I need to set it up for everyone can see what the hang we're doing. Roger says, and the crowd goes wild. Thank you, Roger. Okay, so I'm going to jump into live demo mode here right quick. And, today Loria brought up a fantastic point. Okay, if you guys don't know, live streaming pros, Loria, David, her crew, Callie, they get down and they throw together some incredible presentations, tutorials, and live streams all about the things you need to do to go, live, okay? That's the name of it, live streaming pros. Very simple. And today she had a very good comment about when you use live demo mode and you're like us, most of us, I'm gonna just call us mid-level to high-level Mac users or two monitor people. If you're still new to the game and you're not a two monitor person, become a two monitor person. It changes your life. It is so much better. My initial second screen monitor was literally a $10 swap meet fine because you just needed it so I could see some extra menus because Final Cut, Logic, Audition, these guys got so many windows and I want the big window to be big because I am of a certain vintage where Warby Parker is my best friend. So I got for my birthday this 32-inch beast, but what I was so afraid of is that at 32 inches, they tend to be like 4K, 5K. I found this thing at Costco. It was only $200. It's a 32-inch 1080 monitor. So everything is massive in live demo mode. So when I share with you guys, you can see better. Okay? So now this here is where Victor came in. And what I should have showed you is there's a green telephone conversation from the last show. And then there's the X. I could hang up on him or let him in. So I don't have to teach you how to press the hang up or answer a telephone. You guys have been doing that for quite a minute. So Eileen, I can help you with that. And this right here is my partner in crime. I absolutely love her to death. First of all, my family surname is mostly Smith, like the whole rest of them is Smith. I'm the Boyd. And so I consider her family, and she looks like most of the people in my family. So we're probably related. We don't know yet. You know how he is. Anyway, so Eileen, there is a company on Amazon, and the company is called Wali, W-A-L-I. They make fantastic, it looks like a shower pipe, but it's a black, really sturdy aluminum pipe. You clamp it to the back of your desk, and it's 32 inches tall, and then you put your second screen on top of that so you can do up and down. Or it actually swings out where you can swing it to the side and had it float a little bit, and then you can put it there. But yeah, we'll get into that. And then I'll put Victor's comment, even though he could have just said that with his face.
I'm trying to be nice, dude. No. You're the host.
Okay. Yes, Alex is correct. It was called Lemon. I was trying to remember the name of it. There was Lemon and Peapod were the original ways to do that. All right, so I'm just making sure we got everybody covered. Tim Son is here. Tim is my dude because Tim likes to do this right here. So I'm going to just be, every time I see this, I want to just think of Tim. Okay, so basically how this works, you send someone a link, okay? And so I sent Victor a link. What I did with my link, and I'm going to suggest you do this, but you don't have to. I used a service called Rebrandly, and I made my link easy because it comes in and it's hidden down here right now, which is absolutely beautiful. The boys made it so that when you put on live demo mode, your link gets, I'm going to use computer terms here, obfuscated. And that is so you can't have random creepers like Ecamm Live jumping on your stream. Hey, Caleb.
It
My,
couldn't have been easier. I have to be honest. You
yeah,
sent me that link, and it couldn't have been easier for it to work. I did have one issue which I'll submit to Ecamm, where one of my devices from Blackmagic wasn't recognized as a camera. But that's no problem. It recognized my other one just fine. But other than that, it could not have been easier to see myself, to do my sound check before I came in to make sure I was going to be okay when I came into use. So Ecamm has made it just down flat easy for anybody to join.
absolutely.
It was my first experience because I didn't want to spoil it, and it couldn't have been easier. So great job to the guys over there for doing that.
So this is cool. What you guys can see here is I have a slider for Victor in the audio to which I can use, and I can also just mute him. I get a nice gigantic warning here that says I have muted the guest, but I'll unmute him. And then again, I will show you in a second how to put on titles. But before we dive deeper into all of the things that it can do, first of all, Alicio, I gotta say, beautiful thumbnail, homie. That just looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Um, and then Keisha says he has a 34-inch wide enough to have everything plus the iPad Pro. Yeah, actually, I wish I have to figure out how to put the buttons so that I want to press more buttons on my iPad. And I know that Stream Deck thing kind of works, but I love my real Stream Deck because I like clicky buttons. That's a whole separate conversation. I think I've showed you guys in the past my noisy keyboard. Um, so let's discuss something that's very important, and I think this goes unmissed. And I'm going to do this mostly out of personal protection because now that I have been lucky enough and given the honor and the team trusted me to run the moderator group, I want to make this experience as beneficial to most of you folks out there as well. Couple things to know about beta, and this goes it's a conversation that Mac people have all the time because Apple has been famously doing public betas probably since I want to call it like iOS 4 or iOS 5. Okay. When you get a public beta, what they're trying to do is get it in as many people's hands as possible before it is released out to the entire wild so that people can help find the caveats. People can find the things like, I can't look this way. Even though Victor's here, I got to look this way. Remind me to move monitors. Uh, that the Black Magic may have a hiccup. So then the guys have Black Magic so they can, test it there, or they can reach out to Black Magic and test it there. Are you using virtual camera, Victor? Oh,
I am not. I am
oh,
not using virtual camera. I have an A10 Mini, so I have
oh.
three different cameras set up.
Hey, here's my A10 Mini right here, no cords, because I like Ecamm. I like Ecamm buttons better. That was I won't say it was a waste of money, but it's just not being utilized at the time. It does really well to keep my post-it notes from blowing off the desk. Um, anyway, so the the thing to know about beta, fam, is that your job for getting the ability to play early is to let the guys know when there's something wrong. Yes, the community is here, so ask us too, but don't forget to submit any and all little weird oddities, right? I'm going to suggest the most important thing you do during this beta before you get a new camera or a new mic or anything is to get a book and keep this book next to your desk, and you're able to write down little things as they happen. Because what happens is you go to submit your ticket and you go, well, I had the screen thing and then the other thing, and then I pressed the Eileen, and then it crashed. And then we don't know what you were doing. You were trying to say, I was pressing the button to let Eileen's comments come up, and I went to go adjust the comment, and it crashed. So it would be helpful if you kept, notes. That's, beneficial. But also, I'm going to show you here directly something I think is cool. I hope somebody's at the office right now. I know they're busy, but let's just pretend and let's not get myself in trouble. You can press this online support thing, right? When you press this,
Great.
this is going to allow you to do that. Now, another thing that's going to happen, I'm live right now, so I can't do it, but on the button right above, it says contact support. If you press contact support, that same little bubble thing that pops up on the website will pop up in app. And in which case, the people at the office. It could be Midori, it could be Ken, it could be Glenn, Caleb, Katie, whoever. Somebody who answers the thing will be able to either help you or at least get some log information or some other stuff that they can then use to help make this better. Like already, um, just to show you how awesome the team is. Oh, he says, "Look, we're happy to help."
See,
Yes. Okay.
that's what
So
good support's about.
what I need right now, Caleb, is I need another third. I can't even do it. I need another large coffee with light cream, one sugar, and a splash of cinnamon.
So, Doc, let me ask you something. As far as support, so my issue was from the user end using Chrome. That it couldn't see my 13G device. Blackmagic device. So, do I just need to tell you, since you are the Ecamm owner, and then you'll report it through that interface, or is there a way that, as a user, I can do it through Chrome?
Yeah. So, hey, that's a good question. Is there a button in Chrome? I can't see the interface. Let me join my own show for a second. Caleb is
Yeah, I don't
funny.
see anything. I
Caleb
don't
is
see
funny.
anything here.
Okay, so
So
on
maybe.
your side you don't see. You can share your screen, Victor. Let's do
Oh,
that.
that's true. I can't. So it might be a suggestion for the Ecamm folks to let folks be able to, from the Chrome site, to also submit a ticket.
So right there it says that yeah, you'd have to let me know and then I would submit it. But yes, and that is an amazing thought because I didn't think of that. Um, So just to show you how on it the guys are, and I'm not going to take credit for this feature, but I'm going to take credit for this feature. All of us music people, myself, Victor, Keith Pelzer, one of my other Ecamm master homies out there, who's an incredible musician, by the way. A lot of, let's see who's on it. Tony asked the question. I believe the other Alex, not Alex McDonald, but the other Alex in the thing asked the question about the ability to hear. When you see these two windows, one of the conversations that came up is at the end of the recording, could I get a recording that says Victor and a recording that says Doc? And the boys listened and they said they will add that later. So as soon as they, they've been hustling, bro. They have been straight hustling since like the middle of February to make all myriad of things happen with Ecamm. But we are going to we don't have an official date, people, so nobody keep asking. Just wait, right? We are going to get discrete audio. That's what it's called when you're able to take the audio recordings after this and have a separate doc and a separate Victor to which we can mix later. Yes, sir.
So let me up that game one more for the guys, okay? As a musician who does a multi-camera, sax jam, okay? One of the reasons I bought the Blackmagic ISO is because it records an ISO of every one of my cameras. So to up that game on Ecamm, if it recorded an ISO of every one of the cameras I'm using, virtual cameras, in Ecamm, and at the end of the show, I end up with 2 cameras or 3 camera files, as well as the sound file, that would be awesome because then I can take those ISOs, put them into Final Cut, and do a post edit of whatever I want. So just
Yeah.
another idea to up that idea that you had of the caller as well as the host as an individual using Ecamm. It would be awesome to have ISOs of every camera that I'm currently using on Ecamm box.
Yes, Keisha, to answer Keisha's question, or not really to answer it, he says that currently the app doesn't work, says it couldn't send a message. I believe everybody that's manning the tables is on shows right now, so it just might mean that someone's not at the table. I believe when you press this button, it has to coincide with the time that someone's manning the table. When you press this button, it will do the website and do the same thing, but they're normally pretty quick at getting back to you. So, yes. Um, that's a good question, Jason. I have to check that out. I will defer to my friend Felicia. I will send her a message and I'll find out. But it says, does the GoPro webcam software work as a virtual camera? And I don't know for GoPro, but I do know that my Mevo Cam one does. It worked amazingly. I was so shocked because that Mevo that I have is the OG day one Mevo, and it's a lot older than that. Okay, So let's get some more into the interview feature. I do remember every here. I'm gonna fix this, and hopefully I don't mute myself because I always do this. Yes. So don't listen to Mahalo for watching yet, but every Tuesday, Saturday, we do like, deeper dives into Ecamm. Next Tuesday's show will be a full on just Ecamm deep dive. And because I know that a lot of people will be jumping in now because interview feature is coming along. So that's that. And on Saturday is our general question and answer show. So yes, if you haven't already subscribed, do that. And on the YouTube side, and it will get you more into the interface and stuff like that. Today we're going to tackle a lot of interview mode things. So one of the first things that I want to cover is that we did cover what a beta is. A beta is for you guys to test and help them figure out what last minute things they need to add. My mama used to have me come in the kitchen and she'd give me a little wooden spoon and she'd be like, taste this. And you taste it and be like, yeah, mama, make it a little bit more spicy. And then she look at me because she know I am the actual Latino in the family. I like spicy. My sisters, they kind of suck. So I used to ask her to make it more spicy just to be irritating to them because I was the baby and I was the one in the kitchen. It was up to me. So and after that, if I said something dumb, the spoon would crack me in the head. So that's what beta testing is. You're sampling the works, this interview mode, okay? Now, what it's for is for you to, again, find out any bugs, let us know any kind of hangups, make sure you send your notes in, contact support. You can also drop the question in the community because the community went from about 1,300 folks to about 5,000 folks. It jumped a lot. So there's a chance that when you ask your question in the community, someone might know. Like a question came up for me about UAD devices. That's the Apollo. It's a fantastic interface. I'm like, I don't know. Let me ask Victor and Keith. So I tagged Victor and Keith, and they talked to the person who had the question, and I think they figured it out. So that's what the community is for. Feel free to ask, but if it's really urgent, please contact support. Okay? Now, what you have to know is it is beta. So it's testing. There is a huge possibility that it could die in the middle of your stream, but that's the course of running beta. Don't freak out. Don't get mad. That's what betas are for. So again, make sure you note what happened and explain it to folks so they can know. Okay? Anything to add to beta thought, Victor?
No, I think it's great that you're covering that because a lot of folks have a misconception about what beta is and beta isn't. It's your opportunity to have true feedback on improving this software that they've put out, and they've been missed, an I or dotted an I or across the T. You get to do that by kindly giving that back. It's your reward for having that beta early is to give that feedback to Ecamm, and they're going to appreciate it, and you're going to be making the product better for all the users.
Yeah, actually, on the earlier stream on Laurier with Laurier and Glenn, I don't know how I almost messed that one up. Somebody had a very good point, and Glenn was like, "Yo, that's a good idea. I can't believe we didn't think of that." And it had to do, it's crazy. It had to do with the green answer phone button versus red, versus a camera. But yeah, so that's what the beta is for. And then, no, Marquis, the answer to this question is no, because reality is that's actually not an Ecamm problem. That's a Facebook API, Twitter API, YouTube API problem. And most people get that mixed up. I don't want to confuse folks. We're not going to get deep into that, but you know where we are. You can find me in our mastermind group, and then I'll explain that to you better. Okay, so now, the last part of this is we're going to talk about the window real quick. So this is the master window. I'll cover me because Victor's much more handsome. In the top here, this new window will show there is a situation here where there is a large two-headed button. As you click that toggles the interface if for some reason your button is missing. Speaking about fantastic musicians, Mr. Freddie Fox. What's up, fam?
I'm humbled, Freddie, man.
Yeah, me too. Like I used to, hear tracks that Freddie played on when I was a kid, listening to my mama music. So it's kind of.
I hit up Freddie. I said I want to do a duet with Freddie on Ecamm sometime. I know we can't do it live, but I want to record something with him and put it up.
we don't want to blow up Freddie's game, but most people in this group have definitely listened to his wife sing some lovely tracks before. Uh, so, what this thing does here, you'll see it says that I have 226 hours of interview time remaining because I've been playing a lot. Okay. Uh, I actually did something stupid because I forgot about the counting down the timers. I was doing a support thing with a friend. I was actually Eddie Mata. I was helping out my buddy Eddie Mata, as Jason called him out a second ago. I was helping him out with his stream, and in the process, I was using my interview hours, which is dumb. I could have just did Skype for that, but I like it so much of not having to fight Skype. I was like, oh, I'll just help him with his, Ecamm setup using the interview mode, and so I was burning my hours, which is dumb. So don't do like me. Don't do that. It's not a good look. Okay, so
But the good thing is that you can buy extra hours. I mean,
yes,
that's what's
yes,
awesome, right?
yes,
If
that's
if you're
true.
yeah, you can buy extra hours, and if you buy them, they stay like a bank account. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so what I would do, what I would do is at the end, as I remember to send Eddie a bill for my extra hours because he's a Yankees fan, so he's a little dense. It takes longer to explain things to him. So I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that. Aloha kahakiaka, Mr. Ryan in the building. I love it. See, I told you it sounded like I just said Victor's last name, but that's Kahia. This is Kahakiaka. It's different.
But you're the only one that can say it right. I love that.
Now you know why I got it twisted when I first heard you on the thing. Okay, Katie is messaging people in Slack and it's distracting me. Focus. Ryan's going to say focus pretty soon. So this is your countdown timer. Now for the people who ask, I know that actually Keisha was the one who had the UAD question. There you go. I knew it was in there. And then Victor, Keisha's an awesome musician. Go check out his page. This guy is credible. So what you'll notice here is I have my text button. I'm going to put this back down here for a second. Sorry, guys, to move your eyeballs all over the screen. When I press this, then my names are going to fly in. So you notice that my name flew in from one side and Victor's flew in from the other. Now, you can change this. You can, add something to your screen. I'm going to go ahead and put on my infamous, you guys know me for this by now. I got to put on my shaka. So it'll go ahead and add that to my stream. I think I have to turn it off and turn it back on. It's weird. It works in the Chrome when I typed it in as a guest on Ken and Glenn's show, but when I put it here, it doesn't work. But it also has to do with my font. My font might not take that. Okay, anyway, let me stop messing with that. Now, one thing you could do with this here, now this messed me up. I'm trying to move it right now. It's not moving. You got to pick it up and move it. Like you got to actually give it a little, so that way you don't accidentally knock it when you're doing something. You got to literally grab it and move it to where you want to move it. And what I mean by that, in many software, as you're moving the mouse, you don't feel a tactile bump in the mouse, but you get a visual bump where it kind of sticks and then it goes. That's what it does, right? So when you try to move it, if it doesn't move, just push harder. It's like inertial. Okay, it doesn't go up yet, which is good. So you can place this sort of wherever you need it to go. Okay? Wait, are you sure? Okay, nope, it doesn't go up. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to mess that up. So I like it over here. Now, the guests put their name in when they hit the guest form, okay? And then they can change that on their end, or you can change it for them by typing over here. There is an edit button here, and if I press that, I would able to do this. I can type, of course. It's a known quantity, right, Ryan? There you go. So, I can do that.
Now, Doc, I don't seem to be able to edit that after I come in. Like right now, I go into the gear on Chrome, and there isn't a setting for me to change my name now.
Okay, so the guest, normally the guest isn't going to misspell their name, but if for some reason you wanted to change something, you can do that. Jason's teasing me about my hat. I'm going to just leave him alone. Caleb is there with his hat backwards, and then Victor and Keisha are having a conversation. Yes, yes, Jason, you can. So like me, normally I wouldn't use these. I would do my own standard overlay because I just like doing the overlays. You know what I'm saying? So even like I have a frame guy here, like I can run it like that because I like to have my frame on. You know what I'm saying? So that's very possible. And you can go in and make your overlays and stuff like that. Now, pro tip, I tell everyone this and just do this. Take yourself and you have placeholders. So right now I have a 2-up. So what I would do is Command Shift 4 on the Mac. Move your cursor into this preview window, hit the space bar. You'll notice now that Victor and I are slightly grayed out, okay? If I press the button or the enter key, it takes a picture of that. I use that picture in Keynote, Photoshop, Canva, Spark, Easel, Illustrator, Crayon, whatever you got, you can use that to do your lineup. Now, the other thing which is really cool, I might want to have another person come on. So I can press this and do the same thing, Command Shift 4, space bar, and then take a screenshot of this so I can build my layout with the 3-up. When there's even no one here, you can actually add more folk, right? So I can go inside the switcher and I can add guest 2. So now there's our 4-up situation. Hey, not right now. You guys can probably see that. Can you guys see where do you see that?
I see it.
See, when I tell you that the boys are hustling, like they're updating as I'm trying to do. Let me tell them in chat. Do not update when Doc is live. Do not update when
Doc, that's a feature.
is live.
That's a feature, Doc. They're trying to tell you something.
Yeah, they try to tell me to shut up. That's funny. And then I thought we were fellow Red Sox fans. Ecamm team from Boston. So again, this question is going to come up, so we'll cover both at the same time. Again, same trick, and I'm just going to reiterate it because I'm that guy that will irritate you till you memorize it. Command Shift 4, space bar, boom. Now there's your 4-up. Last one, we're going to add one more guest. So, oops, I switched it all the way to guest 3. Let's do this. Let's go back and put me, and then put Victor, and then put guest 1. So there's my 4. And then I want to add guest 2. Now there's my 5-up, right? Now again, I can switch myself back to where I want to be, right? And then I can switch Victor to over here. It's like the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch. That's the way we became. Never mind. I'll probably get a YouTube trouble flag for singing that song. Okay, so now I'll click this again, Command Shift 4, spacebar, and so I can use those screenshots to go into my favorite program. Again, Keynote, Illustrator, Canva, Easel, Photoshop, Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo, and then fix all of that. Right? Use that to make your overlays. Put your little divider lines in, things like that. Then, as you want to rid of folk, you can go ahead and delete these. So you can assign guests to a user. So right now, you see where it says guest 1 here? I have Victor assigned to Victor. What I can do is click here and assign Victor to guest 1. And then now, when I turn that off, you go off, minus. And then now, if I come to my camera source and I pick guest 1, there's Victor. In full regale, his pop-up came up, which was kind of cool. So there's the other opportunity is when you look inside your drop-down list, your guest names will actually be there. And I now have Victor triggered as button number 4. That is the standard 4 on your keyboard. So if Victor and I were arguing, I pressed the wrong one. I'm 3, Victor is 4. So just with the press of the keys, 3 and 4, I can switch back and forth between Victor and myself. Now, again, when we're on the screen, I can switch myself back to left because I don't know, I just like to do that. That's the way I like it. You can arrange it however you want it. So very, very, very cool. You can do that. right? It's very simple for you to move your guests around and build your plates. Again, I think the best answer to building plates is to, even when there's no guests there, you can load them up. You can kind of add those scenes, make those scenes, and then save them. Okay. Now, the other thing which I wanted to remind folk of, um, that once you have your scenes kind of laid out, okay, you can drag this to the desktop. This little hole in between my sound levels and my side window is my desktop. Because I have a 2 monitor display, if I drag it this way, you won't be able to see it. So I just use this little hole as a way of showing you. I can drop this to my desktop. That file is there. So if I mess something up, once you have it how you like it and you know this, drag it to your desktop, folks. Keep it there. If you screw it up, just double click it. It'll come right back in. It will load itself and it'll be exactly where you want it. Okay. Except for now I'm all the way down there instead of up here. Okay. So the other option, if I had, say, these, set of scenes and this is my show, like I got it exactly how I wanted the night before, I was on whiskey mode, not coffee mode. Press this little button right here. This is the export scenes. Okay. This will pop up a little dialog box in a second, and then you can name the scenes. So I'm going to do scenes with Victor. Fix that because that's not good to put those characters in a title. And then I'll go ahead and export those. Now I'm going to get a bundle that looks like this. It's hard to see back there, but it says scenes with VC. And so when I'm ready to start that show, I can just double click that. So this comes in handy if you're like me and you produce multiple shows. I have this folder down here on the bottom. Let me delete that. I have this folder down here in the bottom called DJ's Live Streaming. When I open that, I can do my DJ's Live Streaming show. But I can also, if it's too crowded because I made a bunch of scenes for this guy, I can get rid of that, double clicking and put it back in. Yeah, okay. Anything to add, Victor?
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I mean, I love that hint that you've given several times of saving your scenes. It's like making a backup. You don't want to be without them. And I do it often because it's so easy to do and so easy to get those scenes back. And it's a lifesaver. It really can be.
I trust me. Anybody who's done any sort of production at any level, whether it's just producing keynotes or producing Final Cut or producing Logic, GarageBand, whatever, Photoshop, you will always accidentally delete something where you're this close to being done. So yeah, I have learned my lesson. Ryan and my brother June, if he were here, would tell you I accidentally formatted a 2 gig drive full of all of my movie clips when I was about to exit a project that I was doing for a client. And so since that time, I am extremely paranoid about such things. Okay.
If it doesn't exist in 3 places, it doesn't exist. That's my rule.
There you go. Now, so in here, you can see I have the ability to select my cameras. I'm not going to do that because this camera's not on at the moment. And again, very simple. You can run your switcher from here by going to solo, and then I can just, put Victor back to the right, or I could put Victor to solo. But I personally would do it as separate scenes. And again, the reason why I would do it as separate scenes is so that I could use my Stream Deck. Or if you guys notice, and I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to this, but there is a command number here in order to get to a scene. So if I do, say, command 4, that's this scene. If I do command 9, I come back to Victor 9. So 1 through 9 is, various portions of the show, right?
And as you will know, you can use Stream Deck and assign those to buttons, and now you got a switcher.
Now,
simple as that.
That's why, yes, you can control it here with this section over here in your interview beta window. But honestly, take the time and build the scenes, and also remember that you can go ahead and build scenes for as many guests as you may or may not have. Okay, so that's kind of a key thing. Oh, we were talking about hours, and I forgot to remind you. I know Victor did. You can just press this little white arrow, and it pops up, and you go add additional time, and it tells you get 20 hours for $14.99, and then all is good in the hood. So you can just press that if you run out of hours.
And again, Doc, just as a reminder to folks, the 20 hours that you get per month normally, those do not roll over. Those will go away at the end of the month. But the hours that you buy additionally, those you get to keep like a bank account.
Correct. I just need to check to make sure. Oh, yes, something happened. Okay.
Well, that's good.
No. I just realized that a lot of the questions aren't coming in. This happens. I do have my Restream chat open, so let me see. Yeah, I don't know how to reset comments when. Thank you, Epic Vision. I don't know how to reset comments when that happens, but it happens to me more than anybody else. Um, yeah, let's see. Yep, I don't see any way to recover that. And it's something that happens with Restream. Normally, when I'm going directly, that doesn't happen. So I'm going to monitor the YouTube questions for just a second. And then if there's any questions on Facebook, I'll check you in a second too. Just let me scroll through this real quick. Oh man, there was a lot. That's so crazy. It's a wonder how this Restream thing killed the comments. But if I leave a message here, it does work. But yeah, it's not connecting to. Maybe it's just that. Hala. So I have a plan for this. When this happens, here's what you do. You go to Restream. Nope, that didn't trigger either. I was gonna try to just bring up the Restream chat by itself. Dun, dun. This is live, folks. This is how we do it.
This is how. But see, you're seeing the great troubleshooting mind of Doc Rock. This is how he does it. He takes one thing at a time. He says, "Is it that? Okay, I'm going to eliminate it. Is it this? I'm going to eliminate it." And then in a minute he'll have the answer, and then he'll share it with everybody, so we don't have to go through that same pain.
Well, here is something that is very, very possible. Victor, if you could show your screen and then show them
Sure.
how the guests can actually see comments. Let me do this.
You got it. Okay, now I'm looking at mine. I'm trying to see where that is, Doc, because I don't. I also have the YouTube.
There is a
open,
little
so
bubble on the side.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that! How sweet it is to be loved by you. Okay. All right, look how easy that is. Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, so yes, of course, Victor and I are going to echo because of the way it is, and then in my window here in live demo mode, I am able to put Victor down here in the corner. I can. That's funny. I can turn Victor into a round Victor, right? But you can see that there is the comments that are coming in. So
that is great.
Let's see. Let me try if this fixed it. Unfortunately, there is no. So what happened in my Restream chat app eats it, but if I do it on the page over here, it does seem to pop up. So let me quit this app real quick and then bring it back and see if that solves anything. But what's going to happen is once it's broken here in Ecamm, I really don't know how to get that back. I've had it happen a couple times. But normally what I end up doing is just watch it directly in the thing. So that seems to work. But yeah, for whatever reason, Ecamm lost the API for the chat. So I can see you guys, here. And what I can do is just bring up the window from there. But if everybody could just post something in the chat real quick, and then I'll show you my solution for this.
So I'm going to give another suggestion to the Ecamm groups. I'm going to write this down and put it down as a ticket. As a user from Chrome, it would be nice if I had the ability to chat back with that group right here on that same Chrome page. Right now, I can only read.
See, yes. So that's a good idea, because otherwise the guests would have to open up their phone or their iPad or their computer in another window. And the danger there is they'll turn up the volume and then it'll work. Exactly. Okay. So, yes. um, what's crazy is there's no way to re-trigger this to re-bite. So yes, sorry folks, my comments situation died, but I can see that
So
Brady and Ecamm and all of the guys are in here chatting. So I'm gonna show you guys how I fixed that. I had it and I threw it away, but let's see if I can put it back. All I do is I press in this button here. Uh, uh, yes and no. I see what Alex said. Alex said, would you have to give them the access granted to Facebook and at work? No, not really, because what they would be able to do is just answer back, but they wouldn't necessarily have moderator features or something like that. So I did a whole video on what I'm about to do, folks, and yeah, you can look into that, but let me show you here. I have the wrong numbers, but I'm going to, if I remember correctly, it was 500, and then I'll just go ahead and add that. And then let's see, it should pop up in a second, and I can put that here. And then now I can see the chat. So I'm gonna let it, hey, you stay over there. I'm gonna let it block my face right here for a minute, but I'll place it there. And then what happened is, in theory, you guys' chats should start to show up in that window. I hope I got it correctly. So hopefully it works, and we'll see. And if it doesn't, then we'll just call it a different day. But but in theory, you guys should be able to show up there. Okay, it's working. All right, so I'm gonna
there you
have
go.
I gotta catch. See, this is how you fix something on the fly, folks. Lucky the restream chat thing does work. It is extremely small for my eyes, but I have a bigger one here so I can follow along. So yes, if you asked the question and we missed it, please re-ask it. I am sorry. Make sure you put a Q colon and then your question, and we can figure it out. And I will dig in. See, this is how beta works, right? I will dig into my support logs and I'll send it to the boys and see if we can find out at what moment. It was right after Jason mentioned something about my Red Sox having a bad season, jerk. It was right after Jason said that like caused my comments to die. So again, if we missed any of your questions whatsoever, please re-ask them and we will do our best to get back to you with that again. But again, key questions about the interview feature. This button here is important. It allows you to turn it on and off. So for some reason, you get your beta loaded and you say, I can't find the interview window, press the two heads in the middle of your main display. That's going to help you. One thing about the link, okay, right now my link is hidden. When you're ready to send it, you press copy link, and then you can just text that, email it, message it, whatever. You can send the link that way. Now, right now in live demo mode, the link is again hidden, or as I say, obfuscated. Okay, and that's so that you don't have like people just randomly bombing your show. Now they wouldn't be able to just slide in and just like Zoom, run across and do woo anything like that, because you have to answer the phone and let them in. But just in case, you can hit this little hook tail down here, and that allows you to refresh your link and so that your link changes. I love the fact that the boys gave us a persistent link. The advantage of a persistent link is that, as I did a rebrandly. So docrock.live/join, and then anybody can come on because of my question and answer show. But I can change that every week. And if I want, if that link changes, because it's about, this many numbers at the end, I can just go to rebrandly and update the link. And so my, link that the audience will soon know by heart won't ever really change. Okay. So there's a thing. Okay. Let me read. He says, I noticed that you and Scott were talking at the same time. Scott's audio is scratchy, like low bandwidth, but He also talks interrupted. It sounds okay. That's a Skype issue. Skype's always had that problem. Skype has a thing built in. Robert's asking about crosstalk or when multiple people try to speak at the same time. Skype has a thing in it called AGC automatic gain control. And there is a way to go into the P list. This is super complicated. You go into the P list and you can edit it and tell it not to happen. However, when they did something a few Skypes back, every time it updates, it changes that setting in the P list. I just got sick of adjusting it because I knew that this was coming and I can give Skype the finger.
So awesome. So awesome. Because Skype is like playing Russian roulette. From week to week to week, you don't know if the new version that they just put out, if it's going to work or if it's not going to work in a production environment. You can't have that. Yes. You have to have consistency, and this is what the boys are providing us, a way to bypass that and have easy consistency with anyone, whether they own Ecamm or they don't own Ecamm. They don't have to. You can bring them in, high quality. This is a winner. This is such a winner for Ecamm Live.
Okay, now let me explain something again because my partner, he don't listen to me even though I talk to him all the time. Scott, I just covered the portion of this where it says the link doesn't change. The link is the same unless I press this button. So when you send me a message that says send me the link and I'll join, I want to reach through the Facebook and shake you because all you gotta do is press the same button you had the last 3 times we did this. Just press that and you will come up.
So what I did is on your contact on my Mac, I have added a line that this is how I get to your show. Duh.
See, typical Mac user pro tip. Typical Mac user pro tip. Okay, everybody get this. Listen to Victor. If you are a frequent guest on someone's show, take the link that they send you for Ecamm and add it to the contact for them in your iPhone or your iMac. They're synced, contacts. So you can add it. So whenever we're doing the show, like on Saturday, Tuesday, if Victor has a question now, Victor can just, hey, what's up, Doc? Get it? You guys see what I did there?
Done and done. Done and done.
See, and Brady said already done. So Scott, I don't have to send you the link because you know the link because we just used the link yesterday for DJ's live streaming. So yeah, you can call in if you want, Scott. Robert, don't say that. I'm not putting them on blast. I'm just trying to help everyone know that the good part is the link doesn't change unless you force it. So that way, if you do have, like a partner show, Tim and Jim show, right? Tim or Jim, whichever, would not have to tell the other what the link is every week because it doesn't go anywhere. It stays the same. Okay, so Keisha has a question. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you guys can see it now. I'm glad this is happening. Thank you, Scott. There is a red X if I was trying to get Scott mad at me, or there is a green thing that allows me to answer. The best feature, and again, Lawyer pointed this out today, and I didn't even think about it, but I've used this like 20 times. It just goes to show you how intuitive it is. You heard that, folks. Maybe it rang one time. If you didn't hear it, I'll explain you. It just goes, and then that's it. So it doesn't keep doing that over and over and over again. So that way you can answer it. But if you're doing something and you're in the middle of a salient point or you're in the middle of, arguing with Victor about who's a better saxophonist, I don't vote Kenny G. Mostly because the hair is distracting. Sorry. I would have picked maybe like Marsalis or somebody of that nature.
There you go. The other thing, Doc, is if you're doing the buddy show thing like you were talking about,
yes, sir,
you can simply program a stream deck button to get on that call right away.
Oh, really?
Sure. I mean, it's just a URL. So you program a stream deck button to go to that URL and boom, it's going to open up Chrome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring in Scott, but then we're going to flesh that out because that's actually relatively genius. Scott is in the green room.
That's why you pay me the big bucks.
Turn around, Scott. We're going to check your mic. I can't hear you now, so you are muted yourself. Unmute yourself. Because I should be able to hear you before I let you in. Maybe not. I'm going to just add you. And then can't hear you. I got you. I can hear you. Check your mic. I can't hear you now, so
you can hear me.
Turn me down on your computer because you're coming through.
This is the only I'm coming through the Roadcaster.
I'm gonna just add you. Yeah, here, hold on. Let me fix this real quick. The audio for our stream is coming through your Roadcaster and out of your Roadcaster back into this stream.
I'm coming through the Roadcaster. This is the way I've done it I haven't changed anything.
So close the window that you're watching the stream on. The audio for our stream, mute that.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, typical Mac user, typical old guy problem. That happens a lot.
Here we go.
But wait, now my chat window is on Victor's face. I got to move it down here. Okay, again, I'm only making the chat window big enough to there. So yes, in that case, Alex, no, it wasn't me, because Scott's Roadcaster, he refuses to learn how to do it all the way. He wants me to buy one and then tell him how to do it, and I ain't buy one yet.
You need to buy one so you can finally sound good.
See, I knew it. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Scott, shots fired. Okay, so Victor brought up a very good point, and I want to flesh that out because that is an actual genius move. Victor says, take the Stream Deck, okay, and then program the docrod.live/join link, the URL, to one of the buttons in the Stream Deck. So whenever, because like we do the DJ thing every week, right? So without having to go look for the link or remember what it is or anything of that nature, you just go and press the button on the hotkey on the Stream Deck, and it will automatically call the show.
Great
Speed
idea,
dial, baby.
Yeah.
Speed dial, baby.
Boom. Here.
Boom.
Let me go ahead
on
and
the
do
front page. You'll be on the front
that. That is money. That is money. Okay, so Alex said yes. The echo was him, but his mic will also be muted until you bring him into the scene. Yes, that is correct, Alex. And somebody brought up, okay, two things. I know I have it messed up on YouTube right now. Alex, you can't get in. But if you DM me in Facebook the link to your tutorial on how to line up the scenes, do that, and I'll blast it out to folks here so everyone can see. Because Alex did a good job in the prep of lining scenes up and showing you how to do your overlay with the scene, including his green screen. That was super incredible. But Alex brings up a good point. You can't currently hear. Like, I thought I would be able to hear Scott when I had him in the green room, but I can't. So we were talking about a talkback button. All of us radio guys, we know it'd be cool if while Scott's over, I need my mouse, while Scott's over here in the green room, if I had like a little button here where I could press it and be like, okay, we're on in 5, Scott. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm live. I'm talking to Victor. We're arguing about saxophone players. But my remote producer, be it Tim, Jim, Alex, my brother June, who's making trouble to me, Brady, somebody else, my remote producer would be able to also, from their web interface, press a button and say, Scott, he's going to have you on in a couple minutes, So that's the cool part about that, if you were able to do that. And then Robert says, speaking of the devil, sorry, Robert, I can't highlight your screen, your chat right there, but you know what I mean. And then my brother said, and this is why I love him, right? He says, Scott, if you buy him a Roadcaster, he'll show you how to use it.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, he's smart like that. We were famous for telling my dad, I think this piece of equipment is really good, and you should probably get one because it's going to really help out with your video productions. And so Dad would buy it, and then one of us would confiscate it.
Right.
It has happened in the past.
Now, I have a question for you guys because I just tuned in. I kind of joined the show late here, but I'm trying to look at the comments, and I've hit the bubble up on the top right, and mine shows no comments. So
that's because it doesn't show you what's already past you. It should catch up once people add after. And again, I don't think that's something that they would control. That would have to do with YouTube's API and Facebook's API and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
100%. That's what it is. Yep.
So Alex said, I've asked to bypass so that I can route all the audio through my RCP, Rodecaster Pro, and apply compression effects. And I say the same thing, Alex. That's reason. One of the number one reasons why I've always wanted VST or AU control, because even without hardware, I would be able to do my number one thing, which is throw up a meter, because I need to see a real meter, because I'm just weird like that, and I know Victor's weird like that too. I just love to be able to see a real meter.
And of course,
There's
we can
meters
do
in the
that
road.
today.
Huh?
We can do that today. I'm doing it right now through Audio Hijack Pro.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
have
use
a
Hijack,
chain
yeah.
with a compressor. When I do my sax jams, I have a chain that has a reverb for the sax mic versus, so I have a different compressor for me and my voice than I do for the sax and so on. So you can do all that audio processing. But yeah, having the ability to do AUs with an Ecamm would be such a huge, huge benefit.
I did find out from you actually, Victor, if you go to the Ulean software, you can do a web oriented loudness meter. Okay, he took off his headphones and it's leaking out. So let me mute Scott.
Yeah, it's leaking from his headphone. Yeah, the Ulean, yes, they have a meter that you can do through the web. I have a lot of different meters. I have a hardware one that I use from TC Electronics, which is it's my jam. I just absolutely love it. It sits right here next to me. But the other great one is Waves WLM. It's about $30, and it comes with like 4 different versions, a 5.1, a stereo, and it is a wonderful meter for I think it's a very reasonable price. Waves, they make a lot of different plugins. So for about $30, you can have that plug in, and it's something that I've already suggested to Ecamm that if they could put a LUFS loudness units full scale meter in Ecamm, so that I could do a mic check while I'm still sitting in the green room, then I could say, okay, Doc wants his program to be -16 LUFS. So when I'm in the green room, I can test my mic. I can see what my LUFS is right there. And I know I'm going to come into his show without having to worry him. And and another show might have a different standard for their show. They might want something a little softer, but
Right.
-16 for streaming is a pretty good target.
I did have a wonderful conversation with Ken in our back channel, explaining to him why people care about loudness at full scale, and I use loudness at full scale versus loudness K weighted at full scale, just because the word
Yes.
sounds better. Lufs is easier. Cluff doesn't come off the tongue as well. So
Well, it's also a thing about program loudness that you want, the entirety of the program to be at -16 LUFS. So your momentary, can't say that word, might be a little hotter than that, but you want the overall program loudness to be whatever it is.
momentary.
Yeah, I can't see it. I'm Cuban. ¿Qué tú quieres? Soy cubano.
Entiendo.
There you go.
Speak English, damn it. Okay, listen. So this concept is really cool, and here's how you notice this. Even broadcast guys do this. Go to your YouTube and pick a news station. I don't care who you listen to, because they have independent producers for each show. So I could listen to a clip from one reporter. His social media team will generate like the 2-3 minute YouTube clips, and they'll play them. And then another reporter on the exact same broadcast network will have his social media team produce clips, and the audio levels are different. It drives me insane. So I am always trying to send you the correct answer, and according to my screen, I am almost perfect. I am staying here in the yellow. Perfect. And I can show you how I do that, but I did cover it in a different show. So right now, Victor,
So Doc, there's my WLM meter for myself. And I just brought it in through, and you can see right there when I'm talking, I'm coming in around -20, which is what I tend to do because of a show that I'm on every morning called Office Hours with Alex Lindsay, and that is his target. So you can see how that meter works, and this number right here on the left is your temporary, and you just set that up as a preset, and there you go. That's how you can meter yourself to how you're coming in.
Yes, super fantastic. And you know what's funny is YouTube says 14, but I stick to podcast standard because a lot of times I'll take clips and send them for podcasts. I stick to 16. I like 16 across the board because it's a good, like halfway between YouTube at 14 and Netflix at 23.
I'm with you. And also, if it's
sit.
mono,
Yes.
if it's mono, minus 19.
Yes, true story. So yes, that is yes, it's Pixel Core Alex, exactly, Alex Lindsay. He has a really good show. Yes, Victor's mic is hotter than mine, Elaine.
I will bring it down. There
No,
you
no,
go.
but
Is that better?
that is a problem. That what happens, something weird with my interface, and it's only my interface, and because my interface is a rarity, I don't complain about it. When I switch scenes, something about the way its built-in loopback mixer works, it safely triggers itself back down. So I am forever riding my fader in this when I switch scenes. If I do a show where I don't move the scenes, it tends to work. The other thing is, as much as I love this pod mic, it does need just a little bit of gain, and they kept it off. And I have my preamp. Ta-da! But as I mentioned in my last show, I haven't crawled under my table to put this in. So what I've been waiting for is when my brother comes to the studio, because he's still flexible and I'm not, I'm old. He will plug it under the table for me so I don't have to get stuck. So I've been waiting for my brother or my friend Topher to come by to help me put in my preamp, and then I will have better control. This is an old school one, but I like this brand because it's cheap, but it's still good. It's a cheap, good one. These have been out probably since the 60s. This is an old Rolls preamp. This one itself is a couple years old. Cloud lifter, great. Fet head, even better. You just plug it in line and call it a day. But I like the fact that there's a knob on this. I also mentioned to someone before in the group, if you happen to have a situation where you have a noise that you can't get rid of and you're just really tired of fighting it and you have an XLR mic, you can pick up a Behringer Ultra Gain MC2000 for about $180 or a DBX 286S for about $219, and you put that in the middle, and it gives you it gives you expander, a noise gate. Both of those work together to quiet that noise. It'll give you compressor and some other smoothness, right? And yes, my brother brings up I was just about to try to add his comment. The pod mic is not really a side address mic, so it's off axis. Noise production is so good, but then if you move the mic, it changes a bit. So which is why if I'm talking to you like this, it sounds one way, but if I talk to you like this, it sounds absolutely perfect. And yeah, but I can't
Doc,
put it in my face.
Let me give you one thing. The mic that I'm wearing right now is a DPA 4066, and it's a ton of money, like $600. Okay, this little mic right here, it's called a Pile double ear professional omnidirectional. They're currently unavailable. They're sold out because everybody's buying them.
Pile, like in the rubbish audio company Pile?
PYLE double ear
yeah.
professional hand free. They're like $20, and they sound fantastic for $20. And I love having the headset action, especially when I'm doing the sax jam. I have the saxophone on. I'm able to talk to the audience between songs. But if you don't want to spend this kind of money, you don't have to. This you'll have to take care of a little bit better. It's going to be a little more fragile. You may have to replace it in 6 months. But for $20, when they become available, and they're not available because they blew up on our Alex Lindsay group and everybody bought them out from Amazon. So that's why they're not available right now. But put it on your wish list.
I would buy like 10 of those. And if I have a really important guest who I knew wasn't going to have a good mic, I would just mail it to them.
Well, that's why it blew up, because we have a bunch of professionals in that group who do exactly that. They have clients and they send kits to clients. And so now this mic is just being included in the kit because for $20, it's a known factor. And so anyways, they do have the one available that uses a Sennheiser plug-in. So if you have a Sennheiser wireless or something, that one is available. And Doc, I will put a link on your if you'll let me, on your YouTube chat, if that's okay.
I moderated you, so you can do whatever you want.
Okay, no, I'll just put it there. So again, they're not available right now, but if you get a chance to get one, I'll put a link to the one that is available, but this only works with certain ones. Anyways, I just wanted to tell your audience about those, because for that price, They're pretty strong.
Absolutely good tip. Very, very handy. You know, and a long time ago when all of this stuff sort of first started happening, on Twit, Leo would send you a Plantronics headset so that you wouldn't ruin his show. so
That
and
that
so
is correct.
he would send you a $30 Plantronics headset. And so that way, if you were using anything you knew was going to work, and somebody mentioned this today on Live Streaming Pro, I think, or it might have been, I don't know, I watched so many shows in the last couple of days, but tell your guests to pull out their iPhone headphones because Katie uses it all the time in the beginning, and it worked perfectly fine. So, like, if you're unsure that your guest is going to know what to do, tell them to pull out their iPhone headphones. If they're on a MacBook, it just works. Some of the other ones won't work, but everybody who owns a set of iPhone headphones should have one of these TRRSSS sleeves. You should just keep these handy. I have like 8 of them on the desk because you just never know when you need one. You just pull it up and see, it's very important to have that around. Anyway, so that's very good. Brady, thank you. Brady says thank you for the nuggets. I don't know why he names himself my junk. It's not good for my stream, but I know it's you, Brady. So again,
I have a question for Victor, real quick.
Yeah.
Victor, that piece for the Sennheiser, is that for the body pack for like the G3, the little wireless body pack? That mic that you're referring to that's available.
If you look at this, the second one I sent is for that one, and it's $21.95 or something.
Yeah, it's great.
So what you can see, gang, is first of all, interview mode is amazing. Not having to fight with Skype changes the absolute game. Like, it absolutely changes the game. Couple things, if you learned nothing from this show, first of all, know that this is simple. It's easy to use, right? Again, you just copy your link, you share it with someone, be like me, be fancy with it, and rebrand it. Key things I wanted to point out. These are the notes. If you have any questions from these notes, go for this. 1 hour is 1 hour. All 3 of us is not 3 hours. All 3 of us is still 1 hour. So in your timing window as you're going down, that is there, right? Now, the other thing is if you happen to be a lifetime supporter for Pro, this costs the guys a lot of money. So they're still going to honor your lifetime, but you're going to get a 2-hour trial to play with interview feature. Decide if you want to convert to a subscription person. Okay? Is what it is. Do it. Just do it. It's worth the money. I don't want to get into my soapbox as to why you should pay developers for good stuff because I've been a tech writer for a long time. And even I used to be one of those kids that got Photoshop from school. But now I pay Adobe $60 a month every month for almost the whole 9 years that they've been on Creative Cloud. Deal with it. The Pro users, as you can see, I am a yearly paying Pro user. So I have 226 hours left. That means that I started at this is hilarious now. I started at 250, but as you can tell, I have been playing with this beta quite a lot. I've already used up 20 hours. That's funny. But I have been playing with my
yearly. Do you get your worth of hours as a yearly package versus a monthly package?
Yes.
So you have 220. If you use that up in 6 months, you're going to have to re-up for everything. Is that correct?
Yeah, because that would be on me. And I probably will. Yeah. Just because me playing around and doing stuff, like I was helping Eddie build his show, and we were on the thing for like 4 hours because, again, he's a Yankees fan. He's dense. Go Sox. Go actual Sox, not the color Sox that Scott plays with in Chicago. So it just shows you that you're using up. Now, see, in my screen here, it says that I have 226 and 9 minutes. And it tells me that it renews on April 14th because that's when I got into Ecamm. For all the guys that thinks I'm an Ecamm expert, I bought Ecamm on April 14th. It's not that hard, fam. You just got to get in there and practice. That's all it really is about. Victor started in like August, if I remember correctly, and he's already a badass.
All right.
Right? Because I was surprised. Hey, Victor's in here. Oh my God, one of my friends. It was cool. Anyway, so you can just press this button, and I showed this earlier, but it will just pop up and it'll say you get 20 more hours for $15. So at that point in time, between super chats and Patreon and whatever else comes through, just buy some more hours. Just get over it. So it's $250 hours if you are an annual pro. It is 20 hours a month if you are a monthly pro. Right? That's it. The standard users, the standard users get I believe it's like 2 hours to play with it or something like that, but it's a pro feature. So you get a 2-hour trial, but after that's up, you can't renew it or you can't buy it at this moment in time. Maybe they will add ad hoc buy hours for standard users, but the goal is, honestly, people, the reason why they want everybody is on pro, and everyone says this, and it drives me batty. This is one of the craziest conversations ever. Oh, the reason why Apple did so-and-so is because they're trying to make money. If you run a business and you're not trying to make money, you are not running a business, okay? I run a business. I make stuff in my wood shop. I do not do it for free. My CNC costs 60 grand. My laser graver costs 60 grand. The air circulation so no one dies in there costs another 20 grand. We have like a $20,000 saw. Hello. When I make a table, I can't go, oh, here's a beautiful table. It's free. Right? Not to mention the 8-9 times I cut my fingers, 13 stitches, whatever.
9 fingers.
No, I still got them on. I got the beard. People, yeah, go ahead, Victor.
When it comes to the music thing, it's the same thing. Look, you're not paying me for the performance. That's free. You're paying me for all the hours I have to practice. You're paying me for all the hours I had to study. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for the performance. That's my gift to you.
That's cool. Hey, Alex, can I ask you a question? I know we can't see your comment, but it's here in the window. Alex, were you one of those original lifetime subscriber guys who are now going to have to pay to get the hours? And if so, I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, you have a big show, so just a good question. So the main thing, people, is it's a pro feature because it's necessary. There's a lot of development time in there. It costs them money in order to allow you to use this. It is not completely a web API. It does require your machine to do some work. But there is some cost for them on the back end as far as tying stuff in. And again, I tell people this all the time. This came up in the group before. Any of the services that you use that are quote unquote free, you are the product. They are selling your data in order to cover that, and they didn't want to do that. So yeah, that's it. And Alex did mention that, yes, he was a lifetime subscriber that was on the free plan, but then now he has to come in. So I think Jason Morel just asked the question. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate your answer. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't mind buying hours. He said he wanted to, if you could play a pre-recorded video and talk to your guest off screen while it plays. No, I don't think so. I was going to pull something up. I believe I can't talk to them in the green room while something else is playing, but I will test this out real quick. If I play this sound, guys, you tell me if you guys can still hear me. Scott and Victor, you ready? It's only short, so here goes. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I can't do,
hold on. Okay. Hold on. I lost my screen that had all of us because I buried it. Hello. Okay, here we go. So at the beginning, you guys heard me because I unmuted the mic for the whole audience. But at the end, oh man, I just ate all of my chats. There you go. At the end, when I muted it back, could you guys still hear me? Like the last half?
I didn't hear anything after.
So.
Okay, so Jason, the answer to your question is no, not at the moment. But we did talk to them about a talk back button, And if they put the talk back button, that will work. But for right now, no. And so, yeah, Jason, the reason why you heard it in the beginning is because I turned the mics on. And then in the middle of that, I know it was only 10 seconds, but in the last 5 seconds, I turned the mics back off just to see if they could hear us in between. So, yeah, it's not going to work. Robert, I wish I could put your comment on screen. It's a very, very, very salient point. He says Pro Level pays for itself with all the additional features, and it's a visit to Starbucks 4 times or less a month. Absolutely correct. I say that all the time. I love to compare prices for stuff and prices of coffee because I drink coffee like it's going out of style. And my Starbucks bill per month is $5 a day every day for 30 days. So yeah, that's and I pretty much don't miss. So I don't want to hear it. I'm with you, Robert. I appreciate your comment. And then so I think I covered Jason's questions. Yes, we definitely talked to them about Talkback today that came up. And again, the boys are working on some cool stuff. The next thing for you guys who just joined, the next thing that is coming is going to be twofold. One of them, I almost want to moonwalk across this floor real quick. It's done, but they wanted to do one beta thing at a time, but basically free moving camera overlays. Okay, so what this means is I bring Victor in as a camera, but as an overlay camera, so I can move Victor around. So instead of this widget box, this would be a handsome Cuban dude, and I can go like this. And I would be able to say, hey, put the Cuban dude over there, put him over here. Oh, hey, I just did something goofy. I just reset my widget. It's funny, if you accidentally drag your widget outside the window, it will reset. Just know that. Okay, so that free floating camera overlay is coming up, and this is good because it adds incredible layer flexibility. Again, if you see Alex's video that he made about his show and how he set it up, that was setting it up working within the constraints of what we currently have, and now that's going to be more free floating. So that's coming, folks, so just hold tight. But because all of you guys are in the beta group now, you'll get access before the rest of the folks get it, so you'll have a chance to play with it ahead of the game. Now, the other thing that they're adding discrete audio. So what that means is currently today, my recording is going to have all 3 of us as one audio file. But in a very soon future update, that will switch, and I'll have a Victor recording and a Scott recording and a Doc recording, and to which case I can go in and add myriad levels of normalization, EQ, cleaning. But, Scott has fantastic audio. Victor has fantastic audio. This right here, fellas, is a dream. When all your guests are audio guys. This does not normally happen, okay? So normally you're going to have to do a little bit of work.
You won't have that echo coming from us. Doc, I'm still not seeing comments, just so you know. So even though I've been on for a little while and I know you've had comments come through, I've refreshed my bubble, but I am still not seeing anything. Just
Scott,
wanted to.
I'm going to say that you should sign up for beta test for every app in the planet because you're the perfect beta tester because you always break stuff. No, I'm not sure.
It's not even funny.
No, it's a true story. I'm not even playing. At this thing, I don't know why that would happen, but I definitely feel like that has to do with some API thing. Now, this is going to be the one caveat for everyone who's listening right now. Scott actually brings up a valid point. If your user is like me or, maybe Scott, some other people, your Chrome extensions, I use Edge and I use Firefox because they're more secure than Chrome. But because of what they do, it does break things like what Scott's talking about. The security features in some of these Chrome extensions might cause problems with the comment. So you're going to want to test this out with your guests prior. That's just good to know. Okay, so one thing that we
prefer Safari. I cannot use Safari. When I go to that link, it is sending me to Chrome. So I know in the description that the guys gave out, they said you could use other browsers.
Safari
but
works.
I was steered. I couldn't get it to do that. When I clicked the link that came out of Facebook, which is what you sent me initially, it would not let me go to Safari.
The reason why it doesn't let you go to Safari is because you have set Chrome as your default browser. Every link you click on your computer should do that.
I'm a Safari user. I don't use Chrome unless I'm like absolutely have to go there.
Facebook links really don't or shouldn't know how to do that. That doesn't make sense. But hey, weirder things have happened
when we were doing this.
Okay, so because in the phone, for instance, your guest can come on from a phone and your guest can come on from an iDevice. However, it is better if they use Chrome on that, just because of, again, security things that are built in. A lot of this situation will just go away because the developer preview for Safari has fixed a lot of those findings. Let's see. Carlos has a question. Oh, Alex brings up something. I say, if you are doing your shows with a remote host, you may want to keep them in Skype and save the hours for guests. That makes sense. That's a good thing. And then also your talkback game can be different because you can keep Skype as a separate conversation that wouldn't necessarily come through here. So that's actually a decent point. If I had the Rodecaster Pro, I would have my remote producer on the Bluetooth coming into my headphones, but not coming out of the mains to the show. Okay.
Yep.
And by the way, Doc, I'm doing this on Safari. No problem at all. It did give me a bubble asking me to allow to use my mic and my camera. But after I've done that,
so did you copy the link and paste it into the browser in Safari, or did you just click the link from within?
I typed his link.
Well, you typed it. Okay.
I typed his link.
I mean,
so I just used the click feature. I clicked it from Facebook, and it made me go to Chrome.
Doc, I'm coming in again just so you can see this is from Safari, different camera. Same.
I was like, who's calling me?
So I'm going to come out of it. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to type it into Safari, and I'll come back in. So I'm going to disappear from this version. So I'm going to click out, and then I will come back to you guys, and we'll see if we can get that to work.
Okay. So Carlos says, I'm a therapist, been using Ecamm with the HIPAA compliant version of Zoom. Wondering if Ecamm will consider this kind of compliance so I don't need Zoom with my clients. That's a good question. I would send that. Is that you, Victor? Yes.
Yeah, if you don't want me in, just decline and I'll get out.
What's going to show?
I just wanted to show that it worked on Safari.
Oh, yeah. See, there's two Victors. You can just, we have Victor 1 and Victor 2.
And I'll probably echo, but
no
so
echo. That's cool. It takes a second for Safari to catch up with the cleanliness. But
I hung up on it, but but it does work. It does work.
Jason says there is much lag between what Doc is seeing in his live window and what is seen in the green room window from your guests. It's like, that's typical. Here, let me see. Right here, if you look at my window here, it's pretty accurate, right? You see? But I think what happens, what you guys are hearing is probably 15 to 20 seconds back. I have my YouTube latency kind of low, but Facebook latency is massive. It just is what it is. That happens a lot. But I mean, in general, it's just something to get used to. I'm streaming long enough that I've completely got used to this. And even I noticed somebody streamed yesterday. They said, okay, I'm going to stop talking and give you guys 10 seconds to put in any last minute comments. And I was like, that's beautiful. I didn't even think about that. But yes, that is a very, very good way to like end out the show. I'm just double checking comments to see if we missed anything. But I think you guys got the general understanding of the beta. Like it just works. A couple things to note. I will bring up again. If Victor was on a green screen, I could come to this camera effects window and I could green screen Victor and then, fade him in and out to a background. Of course, it's not going to work because he's on gray and we don't have the ability to pick, color for keying at this moment in time. I kind of don't care whether they put that in or not. But it's a nice thing to know that that is a thing. So all of your guests, camera wise, this is very important to know. Scott, you got it again.
Mute it again.
You always have to
Always
mute
have
the
to mute
Safari
the
window.
Safari window.
I'm not. I haven't done anything.
Same as you did.
Same as you did.
There you go.
There
No,
you
I had you open before, so I have to re-click it. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's
No.
weird. We're not good.
No.
I don't have anything else open.
One of
you-
your
One of
windows
your windows
See if now if
is
that,
showing
us. So basically,
bizarre.
whatever I say,
I don't have anything. I don't have another browser open.
you don't have to have.
you don't have to have another browser.
The
open.
window that you
the
use
window
to
that
click
you use to click
to watch this show
Yep.
has a viewport. That viewport is two Latino dudes and yourself. At the bottom of that window, there's a speaker with little ripples
coming out of it.
Press it until it's a speaker with the X.
Where am I seeing this speaker that you're mentioning?
The
The backstage
has
The
you just made it
You just made it louder.
Aksamio.
Chotomoto.
camera might always allow on guest Ecamm. I've got a red.
Okay, now it's gonna go crazy.
Hold on.
I gotta mute that. That's making my face hurt. When the guest
When you start
comes in-
talking Japanese, I know it's getting serious right there.
hey. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys what he's doing. I'm gonna go ahead and call myself in. Okay. I'm gonna let myself in. Now I'm in agreement. That is what happens. So you have
You're
to
killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. Holy goodness. That is ridiculous. In that window, you have to turn that sound off, right? Right now, that's happening because the output of your computer is set to the same thing that is sending your signal to Ecamm. Set your output on the computer to anything but that using the main mic by the top, and that will not happen. Or turn down that window. And holy God, did that hurt. I got you.
Yes, it did.
Mic by the top that you're referring to.
What?
I'm seeing your window. I'm seeing my little preview window down at the bottom left, a mute button, a screen share, and a hang up.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
all I'm seeing.
Listen to what I just said. All the way through. The audio on your Mac is
Yep.
set.
So
it's
preferences.
Set. You could just click the speaker,
You could just click
next
the
to the
speaker
clock
next
in
to
the
the clock
upper
in the
corner
upper
of your menu bar.
And
every Mac
since
19 something.
Okay, so you want me to turn that off? I'm in
Yeah.
Rodecaster
Yeah.
Pro
No,
Stereo.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So should
Now
I be
you
here?
got it. There you go.
I
Your
can't hear you now.
Rodecaster Pro is sending the audio to Ecamm.
So I lost you for a second. What do you want me to hit up there? I've got the volume speaker clicked. It says internal speakers, Rodecaster Pro Stereo, G560 gaming speaker, S27 something 39 items, Yeti stereo microphone,
all
link
of that's
sets,
irrelevant.
sound preference.
Whatever your
Ecamm
Ecamm window
window
is sending.
How
so,
is it
okay,
now?
So okay,
Are we good now?
I don't know, but your camera.
just went goofy.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're still not there. You're still not there.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
you're hearing what's coming through. You have to mute Safari.
I don't know how to mute Safari.
You did it an hour ago.
I didn't touch anything an hour ago. That's what's weird. I haven't done anything other
I
than
think,
dial in. I was on.
Doc, he was on Chrome.
Chrome
He was
before.
on Chrome.
Okay. It could be that Safari is doing this. Anyway,
Now, I can tell you, as far as when I bring guests in, when I was using Skype, I have to mute all the channels so that Ecamm provide. So that meant I had to mute Skype. I had to mute movie.
That's come.
I had to-
You're going to confuse everybody else. That was
Okay.
the PepCAC era. Don't confuse people.
Okay, on Safari, click the sound icon in the address bar. In the address bar itself, there should be a sound icon, hopefully. And if you click that, that should mute it. Or you can right-click on the tab and select Mute Tab.
Here. See, this is the address bar up here at the top. I don't currently have any noise coming out, but if I did, like say I did this,
and select
see
mute.
this? You just press the speaker, and now the tab is muted.
Correct.
You see that? If I unmute it, then our show is double talking. See, this is the address bar. If I press it, it mutes.
Correct.
That's what Victor is speaking about.
And Kaisha, that might be your issue with the UAD thing as well, by the way.
Okay, now I broke it. There we go. Okay, let's see. Did that work?
I don't have these icons that you refer to.
Well, it's not working.
Oh, I'm going to.
Never mind.
I'm going to screenshot my setup here.
Go
So
back
you
to
could
Chrome.
see
Go
it.
back to Chrome. For right now, go back to Chrome because you're killing us. We'll fix that
Okay.
later.
All right.
This is Ecamm 101, not Computer 101.
If you go back to 2006, show number 32, I think I covered this.
Yeah.
Typical Mac user.
Let me get Alex's link because Alex, that link for how he set his thing up was so cool. I saw that in the Ecamm beta group, and yeah, it was kind of incredible. And again, I did it on one of my shows too, but it makes it so much easier the way he did it. Now, the one thing that I'll tell everybody I found, you have to start with a blank thing. Let's see if Scott broke the internet again.
I have that tendency.
There you go. Did it work?
Do I sound okay?
Yes. No.
So I didn't change anything. All I did was switch browsers.
Yeah, there's a tab in there. You just don't know where it's at.
I don't even know what tab you're referring to. I can bring up Safari.
Don't talk about it. It's going to confuse people. I'll show you off screen. It is super simple. It's been there probably since I want to say about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, that's about right.
See, Alex. Alex, can you just DM me, please? I'm sorry. My something weird about Facebook in the last couple of days. Facebook has been doing something crazy with not loading group pages. Holy crap. We're at 5,363 members in the group now.
That's wonderful.
That is so crazy.
And by the way, Doug,
I'm sorry, I think it's 4,387.
Here's that piece I was telling you about. This is a TC Electronic hardware meter. It is dope.
That you put in the middle?
Yeah, well, this is actually a piece of hardware, and it has different meters for different functions, et cetera, et cetera.
So, Keisha, to your point, the reason why you didn't have that situation in Skype, Skype handles audio completely different from the way Ecamm does, and I think that confuses people. But again, Ecamm is trying to make it to where they're taking away all of the headaches that people get in, say, OBS or Skype or whatever. The disadvantage to doing that, I think, Victor, you lost battery. The disadvantage to doing that is for all of the people that are used to jumping through hoops, the hoops are missing. And you don't know what to do because the hoops are missing now. But it can all be redone in, say, like hijack or loop back. There's things that you can do to bring back all of
I
those
don't have those.
unnecessary
That's
controls.
something I would like to look at
What?
because it's kind of weird when I am doing Ecamm through the Roadcaster. It's an issue. And
A
Ken
roadcaster.
is the one that actually fixed that for me and helped me with it. But it's a case of you have to go in and mute all the channels. So everything runs through Roadcaster.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was trying to see what Alex said. He said he DM'd it to me already. Okay, thanks, Alex. Let me grab it real quick. I was like, what do you mean you demand me to do a 3-up? That's funny. No, I'm teasing Alex. Thank you for putting this in there. This is the link to the video from Alex McDonald that shows you how to do the 3-up setup. So I do think that one of the things that becomes, sort of confusing is reality is the Roadcaster isn't a problem or a headache. You got to know the gear before you try to put it in the window, right? And unfortunately, this common because everybody, myself included, will buy a piece of gear and I'll just throw it in and learn as I go, right? Is what it is. But then the nature of users, and I say this because I've been a tech support guy for many years through Apple and CompUSA. The nature of users is I bought this A10 Mini Pro. This thing is $600, okay? So I put this on my table. I start plugging every stuff in. And then when I go to use my Ecamm, which costs me $25 a month, this works because I paid $600 for it, so it's not its fault. I immediately talked to Ecamm, and the Ecamm works fine before I added this to the mix. This is the problem, right? Ecamm's fine if you don't have a Roadcaster Pro. When you add the Roadcaster Pro, people keep wanting to look like Ecamm, like they did something because that's
not because Ecamm. They've got
it's
a
the Roadcaster Pro, right?
Yep.
So, and everyone does this. Like everyone will like download the app. And then because you can't talk to app developers, they come to the Apple Store and yell at the geniuses because I sold you the $1,200 phone. Not you downloaded a $2 app that's a piece of cornbread and it doesn't work. They come and yell at us. 2 reasons. 1, we're in meat space. You can walk into an Apple Store and physically yell at me. You can't yell at the person in Mumbai who made the app. So anything that goes wrong with the app, they come and talk to the people in meat space. You see, so it's the issues that we're all having with our UADs or our Roadcasters and stuff. If you cannot replicate the problem without that piece of hardware in there, it is not the software that you're running it through. Ecamm doesn't know how to do any of that. It basically takes cameras and lines them up and standard audio from the Mac and lines it up. It doesn't do a lot of crazy stuff, which is why it's so good. It is straight vanilla cream. All of the jizz you add to your show, that's you. So when you're trying to suss these issues out, try to replicate your problem without the hardware in. If you still have a problem, then we might can blame Ecamm. When you add a new piece of hardware, then you have to go through a combination of talking to the hardware manufacturer or the support group that belongs to that piece of hardware. So all of the issues that I thought I was having with A10 Mini Pro, I got rid of every single one of them right away because I went to Reddit, to the A10 Mini Pro subreddit, and say, anybody using A10 Mini Pro with Ecamm, this is the issue that I'm having. And they go, oh yeah, all you need to do is do this, do that, and connect it up with the Ethernet cable, and then you're good to go. And as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, what I should have did was read the manual, and it was in there, but I didn't, because I was so happy to get the A10 Mini Pro.
I could tell you I contacted support for Rode, and they couldn't answer the questions either. The only one that was helpful was Ken.
So you got to understand how routing works. All of the issues for everybody have with every mixer in the planet has to do with routing. My Evo 4 has loopback built in. That routing is different. So I could bring audio from anything in my Mac straight into Ecamm through the Evo Pro, but I understand routing because I used to route on a 128 channel board, sending, audio back for an award ceremony. Like I know how to work one of those boards. So when you understand routing, then it's no problem. It's always routing. Whenever you see the
Always.
sound guy at the concert pressing 87 things, it's routing. It's bussing
Exactly.
and routing. So if you're going to do this and you're trying to get cute with it, go to Pixel Core and look at Alex Lindsay's stuff about routing. Mike Russell, Music Radio Creative, watch
Seen
his stuff about routing. Oh God, Curtis. What's Curtis's last? I was gonna say Curtis Jenkins, but that's 50 Cent. Curtis Judd. Curtis Judd on YouTube. Fantastic videos about routing.
He's
Yeah,
the bomb. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's great.
basically, all you guys go learn your routing game before you contact support because it's routing. It's all it is.
Yeah, hey, I got a question for you. Actually, a
Sure.
comment. The reason I went away was I tried to change cameras while I was live, and it busted my stuff up. I couldn't go back and forth between cameras. So I'll put a ticket in for that one as a user.
Okay.
So,
You think-
that's why.
But you're
and the
not
other one
using
is-
virtual camera, right?
On Ecamm, no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No. I have a I have the ATEM that has 3 cameras plugged into it. I have my MacBook camera, which now I'm on by default because it's the only one that sees now. But once I tried to use the gear to change cameras, it busted. I don't know any other way to put it. So there we
Well,
go.
Victor, are you running Ecamm right now and going back to
No.
Doc?
I am not.
That's what
I
that's
am
what
not.
virtual
Currently,
camera
I
does.
am not.
Let's say we are getting on a show like Doc and I do, and we are both Ecamm users. And if Doc is actually running the production from Honolulu, am I able to come in through using Ecamm so that I
Yes.
can put up my own graphics and everything?
Yes.
Have we tried that? Has anybody
We
played
did
with
that
that
in
yet?
the beginning of the show, but yeah, you can do that.
No, I
You don't
Okay,
have to. You don't have to try. It's automatic. Virtual camera is virtual camera. Like virtual camera is not a special to Ecamm thing. Virtual camera has been out forever from Cam Twist,
Right.
over 10 years, well over 10 years. So virtual camera. What you do with virtual camera is if I had the ability to put a graphic in this Sony, that's the same thing because it just sees it as a Sony. It doesn't know that it's Ecamm or whatever. And again, this conversation comes up because people say Ecamm is a virtual camera, but when it's in virtual camera mode, it's not Ecamm, it's a camera. So a camera will repeat what it sees. So if Ecamm sees me doing this, that camera that we just made sees me doing that because it is a virtual camera. It is an eyeball. It sees everything. Like my mama.
Hey, I got a question for you about Rebrandly. I just bought it because of you. And so do I have to go to their site every time I want to create a link, or is there a shortcut to that?
I have a Chrome extension that does that. So, for instance, okay, I'll give you guys a prime example. We were talking earlier about putting up support links. So, I made this. Hey, and then paste it over here. And then I go like that. And then there, if anybody needs help, you can just go to, I put the docrock.live/beta help because the Ecamm help link is long. And I wanted to make a shorter one, for the show. So and I did that is I went to the page and I pressed the Rebrandly Chrome extension and it generated the link for me. But what I liked about it is it allows you to change the last part of it to be something that regular folks are going to understand. And that's the key element to me is you can not leave it mumbly jumbly. You can type, like regular stuffs. And I did that with Bitly for a long time, but Bitly just went crazy expensive and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly why I bought it, because I could change that last part. Makes all the sense in the world.
So Alex said, I had to properly configure the Rodecaster Pro to use 2 loopback virtual devices for everything to work properly. Now my Ecamm guests and my Skype guests can chat together with no loopback. Alex, my friend, that video will get you an Ecamm mug, but I think you probably already got an Ecamm mug. I think you already got an Ecamm mug. That video will get you an Ecamm other piece of swag because that is true. If you guys notice my audio, if you look here, I went in and I started playing with this black hole stuff. bruh, I hated it when it was Soundflower. I absolutely hated it when it was Soundflower. I still hate it as
Terrible.
Black Hole. Yes, it does work. It is a nightmare. The amount of time I spent on Black Hole already, I could have actually built a client and bought a Rodecaster Pro. Or a Zoom 8-track or a Zoom 12-track. There's a bunch of other devices out there besides the Rodecaster Pro that do this. The Zoom 8-track Live and the Zoom 12-track. Tascam has one as well. They're all the same. But yes, or just get a UAD because UAD is dope. Huh?
Send me your video, Alex.
I don't know if you made the video yet because I see Alex's stuff. But yeah. And Keisha also agrees with me, Alex. That is a dope thing. And LA finally showed up for class. He had the Zoom 8.6. I don't know if Zoom 8.6 has Bluetooth telephone talkbacks or mixed minus. The word we're looking for, guys, about routing, by the way, is called mixed minus. Go study everything you can about mixed minus, and this problem goes away.
I have mixed minus enabled on the Rodecaster Pro.
You can't just enable it; you have to route it. It is,
No.
yeah. It's not a switch. That definitely requires, because I've done it for production studio in order to send mixed minus signals to various players in the production studio. So I got it wired pretty well. I used to, again, my sort of Hanai uncle, that means adopted uncle, Bully, ran a music studio out here. So I used to play on his gigantic board. And once you learn that stuff, it's in like Flynn. All right. So I think we covered like all of the major stuff. I will do, again, like all the way walk down, soup to nuts walk down, Saturday. I forgot what day of the week this is. This beta has been a blur. So yeah, I would do a full walkthrough on Saturday and try to figure this out. I will also see if I can run into any other crazy stuff. One thing to know, I forgot to remember to tell you, Skype's not going away. So you can still use Skype. Or like Alex says, use both. And I think that's a genius move too, Alex. That is actually pretty cool. So Skype's not going away. You can still use Skype. You can have 4 guests plus your hosts. I want to remember to make sure I say that. And the other cool feature is you can do guest in record only mode. So if you are a podcast type dude, sort of like Alex's show, you can record the show ahead of the time with Ecamm and then do that. I do believe recording still counts your hours though. It's because when you hang up the phone when you answer the phone is when it starts counting. Epic Vision says that mixed minus is built in.
Right. Yeah, mixed minus. All you do is turn the button on. That's true. But what happens is when you're within Ecamm, you have the little mixer. So if you're looking at Doc's screen right now that he's sharing, if you look at his face logo down there and you look to the left, you've got the Ecamm, you've got all these things over there. But basically, when we ran it through Skype, you had to mute Skype. You muted music. You mute everything with the exception of the Rodecaster Pro because everything runs through that USB fader that you have on your Rodecaster.
Yeah.
And it's great. But, if you want to play, let's say you want to play music. So if I play from the Ecamm sound effects, I'm going to have to change all the routing because I can only really play through the Rodecaster. If I play through the Rodecaster, then the music is perfect when it comes out. If I play it through Ecamm, if I don't mute everything, then I'm going to have that looping sound on the audio coming back when I hear the replay on YouTube. So there's definitely a routing issue. And this is something that, David's brought up at LSP all the time. That's why he likes the Go
rolling
piece that he uses for PC.
Go Live.
Yeah. And it's the ability to be able to go in and route. In the Rodecaster, it's an on or off switch, and that's really it. And when you talk to the people at Rode, which I have done, I've spoken with 2 engineers over there. They can't answer it. Supposedly they were going to send it back to wherever they're from, Australia, and ask somebody. But I don't think they know Ecamm either, and they made this for podcasting. So we're kind of using a piece of equipment that's designed for more of a radio broadcast, in a live stream situation, and there's challenges. That's why I'm really hoping, Ken and Glenn have wanted to do this unboxing on this product and go in depth with it. Ken knows this stuff, and he helped me get through the situation I was having, because every time I spoke, everything was perfect, but then when one of the guests would speak, you would get the reverb, and by muting out that channel of audio. So I wish they would come out with a setting, to give you the ability to use something like this.
They're going to do it. They know this, and they're going to do it. But see, here's the caveat, right?
Yeah, it's not their problem.
No. Here's the problem. If they make it work, where they add all these buttons for every single other piece of gear that comes out there, it will be a beast of a program. That means it will be open and use 200% of your CPU.
Yep.
So in a way, yeah, they can fix it and they can make this thing, but I kind of don't want them to, because the more stuff they add to it, trying to appease all these things, it becomes a Swiss Army knife, and then Swiss Army knives suck.
I agree. It's like Adobe Audition. Adobe Audition was great when it was Cool Edit, and it was very simple and easy to use for people. And then they decided they had to be like Pro Tools, and then they blew it up. And I don't like it as much. I mean, yes, the algorithms are fixed better on the plugins, things of that nature. It's nice, but
Alex says he has the configuration for you in the beta post. And I think that side of it should be like that. You get a user who uses it like Alex or like myself or somebody who's doing it, and when they figure it out, they always share it, which is cool. Alex, actually absolutely genius of you. And now I know you're busy doing things, Alex, but you should go into Thinkific or Skillshare and put together an hour Rodecaster Pro class. You will cover your cost of Ecamm for a year in a matter of seconds, because there's so many people that bought it because everyone else said it was good, but they don't have the experience to know how to use it, or they're trying to use it for something other than what it was built for, which is Scott's case right now. He's trying to use it for a situation to which it was not built for, but then not knowing how to, bend spoons. How you go like that? Yep. And you bend the spoon. Whenever you're going to inject something into a product that's not built for, it's on you to go and figure that out. That's
I'm bouncing.
I gotta mute this. That's a case. That's a common case, and it's not uncommon. And so yeah, folks. Alex, I'm telling you, man. Like, if you got most of this stuff figured out, because I know you tweak constantly, like I do. Make a Skillshare or Thinkific course and just put it up, and I know tons of people will come in because that thing sold like crazy, and lots of people bought it and don't really have they don't have a background to be going in here and playing with all of these things.
Yep, that's right.
And honestly, the reason why I switched to Ecamm from OBS and Wirecast is because I got tired of playing with all that stuff, because I'm weird. If you give me those buttons, I'm going to press them.
Right.
So I ended up making my show more complicated than it needed to be. And then I was like, I like Ecamm. Ecamm makes you stay where you're supposed to be.
I call it production focus, not necessarily geeky, techie focus, which is, there's a place for that. But Ecamm is production focus. You got to go in there with a mindset. You're a one-man person or a one-woman person putting on a show, and you need to keep focus on the production value. And Ecamm lets you do just that in a very easy way. I was able to pick it up pretty quickly now, thanks to people in the Ecamm community like you and others who freely share. So it's very appreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, gang, what we're going to do is I'm going to go build tables so that I can buy a Rodecaster Pro. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. Again, Saturday, I will be back to do more walkthrough, answer questions. People will have had a couple of days to play. If you come up with anything crazy between now and then, drop it in the beta group. I know Alex is always in the group. I'm always in the group. Victor's around. Yeah, we're going to be able to figure this out. Epic Vision says planning on doing back-to-back DJs during a stream, and want to know if Ecamm does the Ecamm interview feature compress audio. Everything compresses audio. Everything.
Yep.
Not a single one of them does not. Except,
I will give you Except the one that does it now for sure is Zoom has a new feature that you can set to high quality 48 audio for musicians like me.
Yes.
And it is killer. It is
I
killer.
was just going to say that Zoom has added it. But at the end of the day, and this is where it's going to become the hassle, and I think this confuses people a lot, Zoom can leave it clear because that's for you to do your recording. When you send it out from Zoom, either through Zoom directly, through Ecamm, through OBS, through Wirecast, through vMix, through Streamlabs, through Streamlabs OBS, it will get compressed because Facebook's RTMP ingester compresses, YouTube RTMP ingester compresses, Twitch, Mixcloud, da 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 da. So yes, if you're going to just record it, fine, and it's better for you.
I would take exception.
What?
I would take exception to that. No, Zoom, the new one, does broadcast it at high quality for the audio part.
Out of Zoom.
Out of Zoom, yes.
Yeah. So,
out of Zoom.
If you bounce it to
100%.
someplace else, because a lot of people don't realize that you can broadcast out of Zoom. But yeah, if you bounce it to someplace else instead of Zoom, then it will get compressed. That's what I was trying to say.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pardon me for interrupting you.
No, because it makes sense. I think a lot of people forget that you can broadcast directly out of Zoom. Like, absolutely. And again, this is where something like this comes in. Although I wish it had XLRs and not those guys. Or I wish it.
Don't get me started.
I wish it had a or a toss link. Give me a toss link. I don't care what you musician people want to call it. Let me send it a digital signal and then send it out from there. Then that would have been fine. Like that would have been good.
100%.
Yeah, and my brother brings up something very salient too. He says not only that, the internet, most folks, internet cannot handle doing everything uncompressed, and that's true. He used to work at Spectrum, so he knows. Yeah. Like, and a lot of people forget that. Like, here's what everyone's trying to do, and I don't fault you because things happen that gives you the impression. Everybody's trying to create ESPN or, like Netflix or whatever from your living room. You don't have that equipment, folks. Like the level of frame relays and D-slams and stuff you need in order to get that kind of bandwidth into your crib, it doesn't exist. And Verizon and AT&T and, Google Fios, all these people that's kicking you with the fiber, telling you, I'm going to give you 1 gig up, down, like, yeah, okay. It kind of sort of does that, but not really. Like it drops all the time. So yeah, like you got to adjust your thinking, bro. Like I used to do race cars and all of my friends swore to God that their Civic was faster than the Porsche. And I'm like, maybe 0 to 60. After that, you're toast. Right?
Right.
That Porsche will eventually catch you. Why? Because you have a $26,000 Civic with another $80,000 worth of parts. It's not the same thing as just going out and buying a $150,000 Porsche in the same way. It's just not. You can't do it at a sustained rate. Right. So you're not going to get a $25 a month software, $20 if you're yearly, and a $600 camera, a $100 mic, and $600 mixer. Couple hundred. You're not going to get all of that and duplicate what the cats at the TV station are doing. You're just not. It doesn't exist yet, but we will get you close. So you got to get your mindset to what you're doing. You're streaming to the YouTube. Like, I'm a jerk. I send YouTube everything in 4K. Honestly, absolute waste of time, absolute waste of energy. It adds extra latency. It's all this other stuff. But the only reason why I do that is because Ecamm requires me to do that so I can also record it in 4K. Because those nibbits that I use after to make other stuff, I want that to be in 4K. Reality is I should always be streaming in 1080 because latency is faster and other things like that. I'm weird. I want to do everything in 4K.
That's exactly right. And it's the same thing that you do that I do. I'll take some of my sax jams and then I want to create little montages or, and I will edit that. That's all in 4K. I have all the flexibility in the world. And then when I repost it up there, it is going to be a little bit higher quality. But the real live stream, it is what it is.
Yeah. Actually, if it wasn't for the interview modes, for the stuff that I'm doing where it's just me, I could put an Atomos in the middle and record to the Atomos at 4K and take the output of the Atomos and feed that into Ecamm and then do everything in 1080. That's a smart way to do it. And I actually have Atomos. I just never did it.
Well, that's why
Because I
I
like
have the
not
Black
editing.
Magic. I have the Black Magic cameras. Okay, I have two of them, the 4Ks, and so when I'm doing my stream, those cameras are recording ISOs at the same time. So when I'm done with the show, I take the ISOs that come out of the ATEM Mini ISO, and then I take those and put them right into DaVinci, and then those two cameras I'm editing in 4K, real
So the
4K.
ISO records in 1080 still?
The ISO still records in 1080, but it does
But your
magically.
hard recording is still 4K.
The ones in my cameras in the two Blackmagic 4K cinemas, those are 4K. Oh, I mean, at the highest
I'm gonna
possible
go la la
quality.
la 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 and not listen to Victor, because then I'm gonna want to change my thing to an ISO.
ISO's the bomb, man. It gives you a file, okay? It gives you a link at the end of your recording. You bring it to your Mac, and you drop that link into DaVinci, and your entire edit is there. And then you can just slide. Like if you wanted, oh, I really should have been using camera 3 while I was doing that. You just push one button, boom, it just replaces it. It is magical.
Yeah, my
I mean,
my brother is right. He says the biggest complaint about the ATEM is you can't take a 4K in. Even I tried sending it 4K thinking that it would squish it down or whatever. It didn't even like that. It didn't like that at all. So again, that stuff is there. Anyway, gang, we've been dragging this for a minute because we've been playing around and pressing stuff. And you let a bunch of nerds get together. We're just going to nerd out. So don't forget, come through on Saturday. If you didn't already, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to it, putting lots of stuff there. I will do some pops directly into the Ecamm beta group, so I'll just be in the beta group. I just think that I like the Facebook aspect. I like the YouTube aspect better, just for the simple reason that if a call comes in or you got to do something and you're on your mobile, you can still have it go in the background. You can still kind of hear. I wish Facebook's would fix that, but yes, that's a different conversation. But
and Doc, if I can promote my jam here, just on Sunday,
absolutely,
5:00 Central Sunday on Facebook, Victor Cajal, my name. Come check out. It's only 45 minutes. Get yourself a glass of wine, and I'm going to be doing some great tunes by Malo this week, by David Sanborn this week. I'm going to be doing some Georgia on my mind. It's going to be rocking. So Victor Cajal on Facebook.
That Prince you did like last weekend when you played Prince, I was folding my laundry. I was like, oh. That was super good. That was very very good. I appreciate
Thanks for letting me do that, because I know some of your listeners would also enjoy my jam.
Hey, yeah, and I'm curious how that's going to affect you with the new changes that happened today.
We're going to find out Sunday,
We're going to
aren't
find
we?
out Sunday. So if you're curious as to what's going to happen Sunday, what's going to happen with the Super Sax Jams and like personal concerts. I can still hear myself on Skype speed. You will watch Victor on Sunday and see if he gets banned from Facebook. So we'll know. And other than that,
if they take me down, it'll be Plan B time.
That's okay. I will just FaceTime you. So I will see you guys on Saturday. Make sure you come through, and then we're going to work this out. I will be in the beta group, heretofore to play around. And thank you guys for coming through. Today's a great day for Ecamm. Remember, any bugs, whatever you have, please submit them to support, because we're going to need that to sort of fix things. And if anything pops up, I'll be the first to let you know. But I appreciate you guys for what you do. Thank you, Keisha, for always coming through and being on the show. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, drop them down below. And then I always have to remind you, go to the Patreon. And if you want to see more cool stuff, hit up the Patreon, and then we'll get you some extra cool stuff going on. I am actually making a tutorial for one of the only patrons right now, but she wanted to know how to do something. I'm going to make her a custom 2D, because that's how I do it, because I appreciate that kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, just, hit me up in the group, and we'll do the best. Thank you, Alex, man. You were big today. You came through with some good info, and I will make sure that everyone can get to your video, because that stuff is incredible. But and I'll go see if I can figure out what happened with the comments so that we can try to fix that. But we'll see you guys around soon. And if you need help, don't forget, this is the link. It's a shortcut. Just copy that down, screenshot it. It is docrock.live/beta help. That'll take you to the Ecamm beta group. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We'll see you around soon. Aloha. Wait, let me move this off my face so you can. Aloha. We're out of here. Peace out. Let me play the intro, which is also the outro. And then, yeah, you guys know how I do. I lost my screen.